Oh, man, we are back. It's been months. We are back. That's right. We are finally back live. A lot of people send us emails. Hey, guys, when you coming back with some franchise lives, or you guys are coming back from Rise? Well, we're back today with some Hunger Games. That's right. We're back the first of the month, or the last of the month. But again, we're gonna explain everything that's gonna be happening on the show live. But again, Nate, it's good to see you. It's been a while.
Yeah, listen, it's been a while because people don't know. If you don't know, not only have me and Alex not recorded a live stream since 2024 sometime, we have also not recorded a podcast in like weeks. So we haven't done, I mean, we've been doing stuff, but we haven't been doing stuff like this. So I'm excited, actually. You know, sometimes you get a little break and you come back like refreshed, like you're ready to do some live streams, you know?
It's been fun. It's been great, but now it's time to go back to work, and it's really fun because like now we enter the new era of Geeks and Flix. I know we were laughing when I texted you, but now the live streams are gonna get more interactive with everybody. All our live streams right now, so we're gonna explain what's gonna happen now before we get into this because there's 5 films we're gonna break down. So again, thank you everyone that's joining us live. We got Scott, we got Tony. You guys are gonna be trickling in. Thank you so much. You're new to the channel, subscribe, hit the like button if you enjoy what you're seeing. So what is going to happen now? You guys see this sub goal here. Our goal for this year is 2,500. I put 2,000 because I'm still learning this damn thing, how to make this thing go. So it's not at 735. It's at 1,735. That is our current sub goal where we have now, but our goal right now for this year is 2,500. So yeah, the more people that subscribe, you'll see that throughout the year going up to hit our goal for the year. Second, we're not going live every other week. So normally we do every other week, meaning they go live. We have a show that is just random. We'll talk, box office numbers, some movie news, and on we go. Well, we and Nate decided that we're just going to take our go live every last of the month so we could bring you guys more interactive franchise rankings. And we've been enjoying these. Like, I never seen the Hunger Games Ballad, Songbirds, and Snakes. I never seen that movie. This is the first time me watching that movie. And the other ones I did watch. My wife never saw Hunger Games, so she saw this for the first time. So it was kind of interesting sitting down and rewatching these movies together. So we're gonna reveal in this episode. We're gonna reveal next month's franchise that we're gonna be breaking down, which you guys are gonna enjoy that. But other than that, what is new in Geeks and Flix for 2025 going forward? Well, Nate is gonna be doing tons of out of the theater reviews. Plus, he's gonna continue his top 5 rankings that he's been doing, and I'll be doing Should You Upgrade, which we've been doing, and it's been doing actually pretty good, where I compare the 4K to the Blu-ray. I know a lot of people have been complaining, oh, this is too dark. It's not my fault. It's the 4K disc fault. Don't come to me and say 7 is dark. 7 is a dark-ass movie. I know there's a lot of people have been sending me a lot of comments with that, and I'm like, what do you want me to do? The 4K makes it darker than what the Blu-ray is. So I don't know.
You're just presenting.
That's what I'm doing.
Information.
Yeah.
So do with it what you want. Buy it or don't buy it. Alex not changing anything. He's just showing you.
That's all I'm doing. But I'm getting the riff of it. But anyway, but I'm loving it though. It's been fun. It's been great. But we're going to continue that. Reindeer Games is coming out this week. That is the next 4K with Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2 throughout the week. Now, we're going to add another live stream. Like I said, we're not going to be doing live stream where we're talking box office, but me and Nate talked about it on a phone call, and I think this is going to be pretty cool. I'm going to be doing, now if you guys notice behind me, I have my custom shelves, and my statues are now starting to pour out onto their sections. I'll be doing live streaming, unboxing my statues. So this week on Saturday at night at 8 p.m., I'm going to be unboxing Evil Lynn, the J. Scott Campbell's Evil Lynn. Is it Evil Lynn? Evil Queen statue. So that's going to be this Saturday. I'm going to be doing live, but it's just so you guys can check it out and you guys can interact with me when I'm opening it. And if you guys missed it, you guys can watch the replay and see what you guys missed. So with that said, let's bring in Rich from Faces from Radio. He's been patiently waiting
in the green
back
room,
there.
eating M&Ms.
Yeah, let's bring him in. Boop. What's up,
buddy?
Hey,
what's up, guys? I'm doing great. Well, first off, I'm going to get a couple things off my chest here. Thanks for having me. I always appreciate you guys. Constant professionals, even though you bust my balls all the time. I want to say I love your 4K upgrade videos. Awesome. And I love your new logo. So good job on that.
Oh, thank you. That was something new too. My bad. We got a new logo this year. I love it. It was pretty fun. I ran to Lids to do this. I was like, "Can you do this
cool.
logo?" The guy was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Yeah, man, I can do it." It's like, then pump it out. But it's pretty cool because so you could flip it. So look, check this out. It's a prototype. But yeah, look, you can flip it and you have it. Bam! You got it right there.
Like
For
that.
those who wanna rock it backwards, you got the Geeks and Flix.
There you go.
Oh yeah, I love fitteds. You know me. I love my baseball fitteds. Yeah, I don't do snapcaps or dad hats.
Trucker hat.
I don't mind snapbacks.
Not too crazy with those. I love trucker hats.
Whatever
I'm good with those.
Yeah, I got a big ass head, so
don't worry, it will fit you. It will fit you. But yeah, new merch is gonna be coming out. Yeah.
Alex,
Are those for sales? I'm working on merch, new merch. That's something I'm talking with Nate a lot on the merch. A lot of people have been reaching out for merch also. So that's why I wanted to create a new logo that's simple, clean, and professional. Chris said, I was pretty disappointed in Kill Bill 4Ks. After watching them this week, they have a audio and HDR upgrades, but the transfer improvements is minimum as best. That is something, I mean, we could do that as a special show between me and Nate and maybe bring in some of our 4K collector friends that do all this stuff. Because some of these 4Ks that I'm doing should you upgrades kind of look like the Blu-ray. Just semi-upgradable. And you guys are going to be shocked. Like I said, I'm doing reindeer games. And I texted Nate. I was like, bro, look, I'm gonna put it out this week. Like I said, the comparisons. But reindeer games look like a Blu-ray, just 4K. There's nothing like you going, wow, this is amazing, blowing out your mind. But that is something that we could talk about in a future episodes. But let's get to Hunger Games. But no, Rich, plug in your stuff.
Oh, you can
It's
find
great
me.
having you. So go ahead.
Excuse my cough.
Right.
You can find me at TurnerFan77 on Instagram and YouTube, TurnerFan77, where I do by the numbers and comic talk every now and then.
All right.
And that's it.
Coolio. All right, you guys know how it is. We're going to break down this franchise, and we're going to go all in deep. We're going to go into some numbers for each of these films. After we discuss the numbers, we're going to go into each movie. We're going to break them down really quick. Each of the films, I'm going to say Hunger Games, we'll give our thoughts and our dislikes and whatever all in one so we don't stretch out this live stream because there's 5 movies we got to go through. And I know a lot of us must hate or like this franchise, and I want you guys to put your thoughts onto what you guys think about this. So, first things first, let's talk about the first movie. Came out in 2012. All right, Hunger Games. It came out, I remember a lot of females wanted to go arching. And I was like, holy hell. Arching, this arching sport became popular. So anyway, domestic, $408 million. International, $287 million for a worldwide total of $695 million on a budget of $78 million. And now, for those of you out there, this is a book series. So I just wanted to say that before we continue going. This is a book, right into movie. So let's go with Rich. Rich, any of these numbers surprise you or anything?
No, not really.
Okay.
No, I think it's good domestic.
All
408 million?
Yeah.
On a 78 budget, $78 million budget. I think it's pretty damn good.
All right. Nate, what do you think?
Yeah, just for a little context to add what you said, Alex. So these are based off books. These are, of course, this was after Harry Potter. Harry Potter came out, blew up the world, right?
Yeah.
And then every studio was looking for that next young adult, because that's what this is. These are called YA novels, right? Young adult novels. So you had Hunger Games and Maze Runner and Divergent and, all these different series of book. Percy Jackson was another one that they tried to adapt.
Oh, I forgot about that one.
Yeah, so every studio was looking for the next big franchise that they could make off of some books. Narnia, I think Chronicles of Narnia was another one. Yeah. So this was Lionsgate. They got the Hunger Games, and good for them because this was a huge hit. You're right, Alex. I had a lot of friends. So in 2012, I would have been I was in my mid-20s. So like a lot of my friends had read the book, and so they were like excited for this. I don't know how to read, so I never read a book. But this was, I was not as interested because I didn't even know what it was. But hey, look at that. I mean, $695 worldwide on a 78 budget. Directed by Gary Ross, by the way, director of Seabiscuit.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Well,
So
and
there
then
you go.
also catapulted Jennifer Lawrence into a superstar, into
Yes.
not
Yeah.
A-list, but more of into a superstardom, global
Mm.
superstar.
I would
Like,
say this put her on the A list because after this, she started getting all those Oscar movies.
Didn't she do Winter Bone before this?
She did Winter's Bone, and that was like, she got some critical praise, but this is what put her on the map as far as a star. Because then she did Silver Linings Playbook, and then
Oh,
American
X-Men.
Hustle. Yeah, X-Men.
Well, that don't
yeah,
think
exactly.
count.
Okay.
That's terrible.
Well,
Just terrible.
guess what? Lionsgate said, holy moly, we must struck gold. Because next year we greenlighted you a sequel. And guess what? They bumped up that budget to $130 million. And did the audience suck it up? Well, guess what? They all caught fire. Because the sequel of Catching Fire, Hunger Games, came in at a whopping worldwide total of $865 million. Domestic, 424, international, 440. Everyone caught on fire.
This
So,
was the first one I saw at the theater. I
This
didn't see
one?
the first one.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Because I didn't know what it was. I'm like, nah, I think that's for girls. And then after it came out and it was such a big hit, I saw it at home. I was like, okay. And then this one is the first one I saw at the theater.
Okay.
Yeah, my
Rich,
daughter.
This one?
Oh, my daughter dragged me to the first one. My
Okay.
oldest daughter, she's 23 now, and she ate these books, and I think it's the first book she really like fanned, and she got a big fan of. Like she deep dived into it, and she's like, "Dad, we're going to go see it day one." I said, "Okay, sweetie, we're going to go." And then when the Blu-rays came out, she's like, "Dad, gotta buy the movies." So I was brought
She
in.
used the target
proxy.
audience, so it worked.
Yeah. It did.
It worked. Yeah.
Well, you know what? They did the sequel, and they went, wow. Well, guess what? They decided to do the Harry Potter because the last two films, they had split them up into part 1 and part 2. Now, we're not going to talk about what we think about those yet, but let's see what the world thought about them. This is Mockingjay Part 1, and it came in at a budget of $125 for a worldwide total of $759 million. It looked like this franchise was just going up. I mean, there's nothing you can do wrong. Now, I don't know what you guys feel about this one. I'm not going to talk about it. But in terms of the money, you could see, though, domestically, the numbers dropped by like 100 million, like from the last sequel. So I think people were starting to get tired or fatigued because it's coming out every year. This came out in 2014, and then I'll talk about the other one. But what do you think, Nate?
I totally forgot about one of those big books, the Twilight series. That was another one.
Twilight.
Yes.
I think
Yeah.
what happened here was people were sick of that. So Harry Potter did it, right? Splitting the last book into 2 movies. Twilight did it, split the last movie into 2 movies. And then these guys did it. They said, oh, you know what? Let's make this last book 2 movies so we could really milk them for all they're worth. I think people started getting hip. I mean, they still did well. They didn't cry themselves to sleep or anything like that. But, the dip, I think, especially in America, that had a lot to do with it. People being like, oh, dang, why just make a 3rd movie? It's 3 books. Why is it 4 movies? So it could have been that. That's my guess, if I had to say.
Okay.
I think you're right.
Well, let's see what the audience thought about part 2 of Mockingjay. Did they run out and see it? Well, not really. So, at $160 million budget, right? I mean, that's the big budget. Worldwide, 661. It still made the money, but it took a dip again. Domestic, 281 million. Domestic, international, 379. It looked like the 1-2 punch of breaking these movies into 2 films kind of hurt this movie. But yeah, you could see it that the numbers reflected, but still they made their money back by a lot. So yeah, that's crazy.
You know what's kind of weird? That this one made less. So that means a bunch of people who saw the last one didn't even care to see how it ended.
Right?
Yeah, they're like, what gives a shit? I'm tired.
I don't know how it is. Whatever.
Wait till it comes to
read it on
DVD.
Wikipedia. Yeah,
Yes,
or something
but
like that.
is there like, we could talk about it, but is there any movie you guys felt like that when you're sitting in the theater and it ends and it does the erupt, like it does a ending that cuts off and it makes you want to watch, you have to watch the other one. You're like, oh, get the fuck out of here. I'm not going to sit another year and wait for this thing. I could wait for it on Blu-ray or
Matrix
DVD.
Reloaded. Matrix Reloaded did that crap. Remember,
Yeah.
he's on the
Oh,
hospital bed, and then they roll the other guy. I'm like, oh my gosh, just
See, I don't even remember that.
what happened?
Yeah.
Oh, I remember.
Yeah.
Now
Oh.
I'm the type that I will still go see it. Like I will go to see
Me
it,
too.
even if it's begrudgingly. Like I don't really want to, but I need to know how it ends. But I think it's weird. I think it's weird that a bunch of people are just like, nah.
Harry
Yeah.
Potter. Lord of the Rings was like that. When it ends with Frodo and them going into the boat and then
All
just
of them
cuts
end
off.
like that,
And
yeah,
I was
the
like,
first-
son of a bitch, I gotta wait another year. Ah! And the next thing you know, when you see the trailer to Two Towers, I was like, I'm in the theater day one. Because it was like you see the war. But yeah, if it was like another movie, I'm like, nah, I'm good. But anyway, 2023.
Okay.
Good.
No, what did you think at the end of Spider-Verse 2?
I
Because
never
it kind
seen
of had an abrupt.
I
What the hell?
You don't watch
You have
cartoons.
that.
I
Live
didn't.
action movies only.
I'm not okay. I know I'm gonna get a lot of flack for this. Nate knows
You
me
are.
already. I'm not big with animation. Like I'm not. Like
But
I'm
you
right
read comic
now.
books.
I do, but I just don't like animated.
He likes to read the animation. He don't want to watch.
Yeah, like, and it's crazy because a lot of people are like, "Oh, you big into DC?" I am so behind on the DC animated cartoons. I have so many of them wrapped up that I have not even like watched. Like I don't know. There's something
That
about
blows
it.
my mind.
It's weird. It's just so weird. Like I watched the
Oh,
first
it is
part
weird.
of the Crisis Infinity
Mm-hmm.
whatever, and I was like, "Oh, this shit is whack." And I didn't even go for part 2 or 3.
So you were like people. You didn't
Yeah,
even see the
I
rest
didn't.
of
Yeah.
the
I didn't. I
Wow.
didn't even. And again, nothing against anime. Like again, I know animation is very big for people. For me, it's just a hit or miss. Like again, I'm working out, and when I do my walks, I'm watching the Lara Croft on Netflix, and I kind of like it. I'm like, ooh, this is pretty good. So I'm warming up to it. But yeah, I'm not too crazy with animations. But yeah,
Before we move on, let me just read some stuff. The
Yeah, go
chat
ahead.
is really popping off. We got more people showed up here. So
Pop
Scott says, I've never seen any of these. Evan is here. What's up, Evan? He
What's
says
up,
the
Evan?
trio of the greatest. Thank you so much. You're one of the greatest. He says, I've read all the books and seen all the movies except for the newest one. Tony asked if I ever read books on tape. No, I don't listen to them or read them. Ben, I think he meant to say, yo, what's up, Ben? Chris Morrow says, remember Battle Royale did the same idea of a movie a little earlier, and it's a little more right. Yeah, Hunger Games borrowed some of its concept from Battle Royale, but again, this is for like teens. That movie's very rated R. He's right. Tony says, fun fact, this movie came out the same year as Jennifer Lawrence's other movies, The House at the End of the Street, which I still haven't seen. You don't need to. It's terrible. Evan says Divergent. Evan says Divergent, which we had mentioned earlier, was another female-led book. We never got the last movie. People were burnt out on these type of stories. They didn't.
Oh, the
do
movies
anything
were
creative.
terrible.
Yeah, and you remember they were supposed to turn the last one into a TV show, and then they never did that either.
Yeah.
Rebel Moon, or whatever the Netflix Snyder movie is, I guess he compared it to in the genre. That's more adult though, not so much YA. Tony says the only good Divergent movie was the second one, Insurgent. Stephanie's here. What's up, Stephanie?
Hey, Steph.
Tony says animation is one of my top favorite genres, and Stephanie says I love these movies. I need to read the books.
Oh,
Okay,
snap.
we're all caught up.
There you go. All right, well, guess what? 2023, the company said, wait, let's see if we could strike gold. But this time we're going to tell it from a different story. We're going to do a prequel of my man Donald Sullivan's character, Snow. And did people eat it up?
Coriolanus.
They did not eat it up. For a $100 million budget,
Oh.
domestic was 166, international 182 for a worldwide total of $348 million. It was kind of a semi-success. If you
It
look
made
at
money.
the numbers, yes.
Yeah, it made money, but
Semi.
it was not the hit
It's
that
not.
the other ones are.
Yes. So, can't wait to talk about this one. But, again, this is the first time me watching this movie. I remember Nate's review because I always edit his stuff. So, I remember this thing, and I was just like, wow. I was shocked with this. I was very shocked. I thought people would flock to the theater for this. But it's, I don't know. I think when it comes to stories that are very big, do the audience really want to see a prequel of that franchise? You know what I mean? Like a Harry Potter. I would love to see, and again, that's just me. I would love to see a Harry Potter movie that has the Gary Oldman young, Voldemort young, with Harry Potter's mom. Like that, what leads up to her death. you know, with my man Peter Pettigrew. You know, Peter. Like I would love to see that, but these actors are already old, so they can't just reprise their roles no more. But I would love to see that. But honestly, it's just I'm just so done with prequels and
I don't like
origins
prequels.
and it's too much. Yeah,
It doesn't move the
They're
story
mostly
forward.
pointless.
And you don't. Yeah.
no, it does not. But anyway, let's just total this bitches up because this is from the least it made to the most it made. You guys are gonna be shocked which one is number one. But there you guys have it. So, Hunger Games Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes came last at 348. Then came Mockingjay Part 2 at 661. Then Hunger Games, the original, at 695. Then number 2 is Mockingjay. I'm thinking Mockingbird from Dumb and Dumber when they sing the Mockingbird song.
Mockingbird.
Yeah, don't everybody have you heard? Yeah.
I can't believe you guys remember
Mockingjay.
that movie.
Oh, dude, that
I
movie's
can't believe
awesome.
you hate it.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that
we're
movie's
gonna have to
terrible.
mute him. We're gonna have
That's
to mute him.
fucking
Oh,
terrible.
Jesus.
We're gonna
Anyway,
have to mute him in a moment.
number 2, Mockingjay Part 1 at 795. And then number 1 is Catching Fire 2013, the sequel at 865. Any shocks with these numbers or where they're at in the order?
No.
No. I was just shocked when you said Songbirds and Snake total. I didn't realize how, bad it did.
Isn't that funny
Yeah.
that you have to do quotes like the absolute worst movie in this franchise still made almost 350 million.
Yeah.
And only had a budget of 100, which I will say, one thing about these movies is they made the most of their budgets. I don't think any of them look bad, not
Yeah.
one of them.
No.
And whatever money they had, they stretched it to the max. So I will say they're and this is not part of our review, just kind of a blanket statement. Whatever they spent on them, they spent it well. They executed. Their CGI is good. Their sets are good. The props are good. So, I think and Lionsgate is that studio, right? Like they'll spend money, but they're not going to go like $200 million budgets.
Yeah.
So good on them. And they also had a Twilight because that was Summit, which is a Lionsgate. So they made hella money for these types of movies without spending $80 billion.
And look at the people that are in the movie too, the cast.
Oh, crazy good.
It's like you got Philip Seymour Hoffman, you got Mahershala Ali, you got
Julianne Moore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So they use their money wisely.
Yeah. Well, let's break it down. All right. So let's start it off with the first Hunger Games. So if you guys want to participate, we're going to do the 2012 Hunger Games first. So you guys want to put whatever you guys want to talk about, the good, the bad, whatever your thoughts are when you first saw the film. Put that the first one. Don't give me Mockingbird Part 2 or 3 or the Snakes. We're not reading it. We're reading the first one. So with that said, Rich, you go first. Hunger Games, good, the bad, the ugly on it.
Not your score.
Yeah, not your score, but give us the good, bad, the ugly.
The good, I liked the world that you were just thrown right into.
Okay.
I like that it's bleak. There's no hope really. I like, again, the cast. I thought Jennifer Lawrence was phenomenal in this. I take that back. Not phenomenal. She was pretty good in this. I'm not a big fan of her love interest. What's his name? Thor Jr.
Which one?
Liam Hemsworth?
Or Liam Hemsworth?
Yeah.
Liam Hemsworth.
I'm not a big fan. I think they should have casted someone else. But I liked PETA. Woody Harrelson, I thought was pretty good in this. But the things that I wish I would have wished it would have been more brutal when it came to the actual Hunger Games. I know it's young adults, but I wanted to see some kids get killed. I wanted, I don't know, because they made a big deal about it, but they didn't show it to you, if that makes sense. I wanted to see some violence. But yeah, that's basically the first one for me.
Okay. All right. Nate, what you got?
Remember, Rich, you just said your 10-year-old daughter read these books and watched these movies. So
I know.
I think
more bloodier.
Requesting them to show kids get their heads chopped off is a little much.
I meant that now because I've seen these movies probably like 20 times. But when I watched them for the show, I was like more critical.
I'm saying that mostly in jest, but it's just funny. Like these movies are for teenagers, so we are grown men. You have to. I think you have to watch it through the lens of that. And so With that said, it is still a dark for kids. This is a dark movie.
Mhm.
The fact that it's about, I agree with you, Rich, where you're like, it's pretty bleak. You know, you got like starving people. They're sending kids to literally murder each other in this televised
Mhm.
game. Just the concept is dark for young people. So I applaud them even, you know, kind of making the movie knowing that, hey, this subject matter is not light. It is not fun. It is not like any of that stuff. Now, is there humor in the movie? Yeah, mostly Woody Harrelson. He's great as Haymitch. He's drunk. Also, I like what's her name, Elizabeth Banks as Effie. Like she's very like flamboyant and with the wigs,
Yeah.
and I like the characters. I think one thing the movie does good, this first movie, is it introduces these characters very well. You get to know them. You spend a lot of time with them. It's a pretty character-driven movie. Then once you get to the Hunger Games, it does slow down a bit. And since you said good and bad, I'm just gonna kind of give my whole little review. But I think the games themselves, where I'll agree with Rich a little bit, is there are times where they get a little boring. Like they're just like in the
Mhm.
woods, like standing on trees, and I'm gonna assume that they were faithful to the books here and put as much as they could in, which good on them. But as far as like, I never read them, so it's just as a piece of entertainment. Some of that was a little boring, but there's little jolts, like little bursts of action here and there that are pretty well done. So I think overall, you know, for the genre that it is, I actually think this movie executes very well, but pretty much everything it's trying to do.
Yeah, I'll echo what both of you guys say. The only thing that I would add to it is one thing this movie did very well when I first saw this. So my wife never saw it, so I sat down. So this is my second time watching it, first time for her. But when I first saw it, one thing this movie does very well, it has a good pace for some reason. In terms of story, yes, and I agree with Nate. There's some parts that is boring. You're just like, oh God, just get to wherever we want to get to. But you're invested into the movie. I'm like, oh my God, like you already know you're like, what the hell is going to happen with Katniss? You know, the sister. The whole beginning with the sister getting chosen and she goes, oh, I volunteer. That is really, like, really crazy. You're like, holy crap, right? I thought that was nuts. Donald Sullivan is such a bastard that he's so good. He is so good and he fits the role. And I like it, though. It worked very well with Donald Sullivan. And I think going from the beginning and then when the movie ends, you're very satisfied. You're like, this is an actually entertaining movie. Like, you're like, this is really good. They didn't have to do Catching Fire. Like, for me, I would have been like, I don't even care. This is a really good movie as a one-off. We could play with our minds what happens with the character in our imagination. But I liked it. And it's crazy to say, but my favorite character in this Hunger Games first movie is very underrated, but I love Lenny Kravitz as the designer.
Mhm.
He's such a good actor. And I'm not saying he's going to win an Oscar or whatever, but as the role that they picked him as, he fits very well because Lenny Kravitz, when you see him as a rock star, he looks very flamboyant, like a designer. I mean, the guy walks around with no shirt with a jacket in an award ceremony, and it fits very well for the Hunger Games, like as the designer for Katniss. I was like, you know what, this actually really works. But you're right, Woody Harrelson, great as the mentor. He doesn't believe at them first, but then he started to drink the mojo, and then he starts to decide to help him. I wasn't too crazy with Elizabeth Banks' character, but then she grew on me. Like, I mean, characters like that doesn't grow. I'm not too big on Peeta. I hate that character.
I don't like Peeta either.
I'm
like
gonna tell you
Gale
right now.
way better.
Well, I'll keep it from Mockingjay 4, but I'm not too crazy with that character. Liam Hemsworth, I'm not too crazy with him as an actor, but me and Nate did a lot of action movies on the podcast, and he did pretty well for that movie with Russell Crowe. He was in
Land of Bad.
Yeah, Land of Bad was really good, and he was in it, and he lead. So I thought he was good. But anyway, overall, solid beginning for a book turned into a movie. I thought it was very well done. So Lion King, kudos. All right, Rich, what do you give this out of Nate's score 1 out of 10?
I
could
did
use
4 out
halves.
of 5.
Yeah,
I
5 is
did.
fine.
Yeah, I went 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5? Okay.
Yep.
All right. I'll go 4.5. 4.5 out of 5. On the first film. I thought it's an excellent first movie. What you got, Nate?
Well, I'm the low man then. 7 out of 10. I think it's good though. I think 3.5 out of 5 on your guys' thing. I think it's very good, very solid. I agree. As far as an entry point, it's good. It's a little long, but you're right. The pacing is mostly good, except for the 5 to 10 little minutes of boring parts.
Yeah. Okay. What you got? Anyone has their thoughts on the first film?
First movie. No, nobody really said anything. Evan said the best thing about the book was that you get to read the main character's thoughts. The movie doesn't do that aspect, so you lose the heart of the story. I don't know if I agree. I feel like they do a good job. I mean, I don't need to hear the character's thoughts to know what they're thinking all the time. So
Yeah.
Tony says Lenny. I mean, I'm sure it's an aspect that's cool, but I don't know. And then Tony says Lenny Kravitz is basically the male version of Edna Mode in this movie. And it's one of the few good things about it. I give it a 5 out of 10. It's just meh. So there you go. Tony don't care.
All right. Well, let's get to the sequel, Catching Fire. All right, Rich, what you got?
Oh man, I took notes on this one because this one kind of stood out more for me. I think I like this one too. Jennifer Lawrence, I think she's even better in this one. I don't know what's the time difference. You said these came out once a year.
Yeah,
These
once a
came out
year.
Every year.
Every year.
Did they film these back to back or?
Yeah.
No. No. Real quick, Gary Ross directed the first movie.
Yes,
then it was coming out, and they were like, it was blowing up. They asked him to come back. He couldn't do it, so they got Francis Lawrence. He directed the rest of these.
Yeah.
So he did this one, and then I think they filmed the last two back to back, and then just released them a year apart. Yeah.
Because there was, for me, Jennifer Lawrence's acting. You can tell that she's way better in this one. I loved that the way she played up the PTSD. The way she had the nightmares. I really like that part. I'm trying to think in here. I took notes. The excess of the Capitol compared to what the districts had. I thought that was kind of cool. Of course, I said Philip Seymour Hoffman is in this. I love him. Oh, how'd they get him to do this? That's kind of weird. Of course, it had Reacher. I noticed Reacher was in this for a hot second. Again, this should have amped up the brutality. That's something that's, for me, that sticks with these movies. I'm trying to think here. Ending. Okay, yeah, that's in the bad. There's really not the same issues I had with the first one is in this one too.
Okay. All right, Nate, what you got?
All right, couple things. This movie, Alan Ritchson pops up. And of course, excuse me, if you didn't notice, in the first movie, you get Jack Quaid, who's now kind of blowing up. He's on The Boys. He's in that movie Companion coming out. He was one of the kids in the first Hunger Games.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Yes.
Yeah. This one, you get Alan Ritchson as one of the competitors in the Hunger Games. But you want to listen, the cast in this movie, so you have everyone from the first one, pretty much, plus Philip Seymour Hoffman, plus Jeffrey Wright, who's one of the best actors out there.
Yes.
Excuse me. And then you also have Finnick. They added I forget that actor's name, and he's good in that role. He fits that role perfectly. Jenna Malone.
What is he in? He looks familiar.
He's been in some like horror. I know he's done some other horror movies. I can't think of his name right now, but he's not like a huge star. But he's in
just
some
had a face that I
rom-coms, too.
recognize.
He's done in some rom-coms. You probably know him from a rom-com because I know you like it.
There it is. There it is.
Anyway, let me ask you a question. How do you guys feel about the movie? How do you guys feel about the movie John Wick? Do you guys like those movies? John Wick? You like those movies?
John Wick.
Yeah. Do you like them?
Sure.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
All right. Do you like the movies? Do you guys like the movies Extraction on Netflix?
Yeah, I like that movie.
Oh,
yeah.
With
Chris Hemsworth.
Thor?
Yeah.
So Chad Stahelski, by the way, second unit director on this movie, directed all the action scenes. Sam Hargrave, director of Extraction, did all the stunt choreography for this movie. So they and this was before John Wick. So he did second unit on this before doing John Wick. The director, Francis Lawrence, knew him because he was Keanu's double on another Francis Lawrence movie called Constantine. So he already kind of knew these people. Everything is plussed in this movie. This movie's better in every single regard than the first Hunger Games. The actual Hunger Games are way more awesome. That dome with the freaking all the elements and the smoke and the monkeys and everything. I liked all of it. So they plus that up. The storyline's better. Philip Seymour Hoffman is better.
Than
Anything
with him is better.
Yeah. Wes Bentley he's fine, but Like he didn't make an impact.
Yeah.
I do love when she ties up the dummy and she paints the beard like the guy had in the first one because he's dead now, and she's like hanging it. Amazing scene. Anyway, I love this movie. Actually, I think this movie is like it's almost like a remake of the first one, but better in every way. Some people might say something like Evil Dead 2 is similar, right? Like Evil Dead 2 is like kind of like Evil Dead 1, but better.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about this movie and the first Hunger Games.
Well, the guy who played Finnick, his name is Sam Claflin. Sam
Claflin. Yes.
Claflin. There you go, Claflin. Yeah, that's his name. Yeah, I agree. I think this is the best one out of all of them. I'm just gonna be honest with you. If you look at it in terms of storyline, action, and everything is elevated for a sequel. This is what you get here. I think everything worked out well. I like the Hunger Games here. It was fun. Everyone is out for each other. You had to join groups. I thought that was pretty fun. I do agree with Rich in terms of should have been a little bit more bloodier than what it should have been, but it is what it is. This is what they gave you. I liked it. I will say a little negative again with the first. I felt like it was a little bit boring before they get into the leading up to Lenny Kravitz getting killed. Like that, I was just a little like, yeah, okay, just move it along. Like once Lenny Kravitz gets killed and she gets into the pipe and it goes right into the Hunger Games, the new thing, I was like, that's when the movie gets up for me. I'm like, oh, thank God. I was like, let's go. But prior to that, I just felt like it was a little bit slow in not in pacing. I just think in terms of like they're too much focusing on each district and then visiting and then telling in, and I'm just like, oh, who cares? Like this person died, they gotta visit. Like to me, I didn't care for that.
Good world building on that. Plus,
Yeah.
I love
See,
the
I like
scene where
that.
like they're shooting people when they're at the freaking
Yeah.
conference, and then the guy does the thing, and they just bring him up and shoot him. Like I was like, okay, I'm locked in already.
Yeah, but I did like when Liam Hemsworth got whooped.
Oh, he's getting whipped in the
Yeah, by that guy who didn't know who they were, and he just he punches Katniss in the face. I was like, oh.
That guy always plays a dick too.
Yeah.
He looks like he should be a bad guy in every movie.
His resume must say dick. They were like, we need a dick. And he's like, oh, we got our dick.
Let's call that guy. Come on.
We have found our dick. But yeah,
Whoa.
so in terms of Catching Fire, Rich, what do you give this out of 5?
4.5.
4.5. All right, Nate.
Yeah.
8 out of 10.
8 out of 10. I agree with Rich on this. I give it 4.5 on this one on Catching Fire. On the sequel.
Oh, and did anyone say anything? 5? No. Scott wants to know, is Lenny Kravitz a musician? I told him yes. And he says, are you going to go my way? Jay's here. Jay, what's up?
What's up, Jay?
Alex, Nate, and Rich.
All right, so next on the list is, well, anyway, Mockingbird Part 1, the 2-part series here. Okay, now, before we get started, I just want to say about Mockingbird and the other one is that a lot of people did not understand why this movie was split into 2 when the book is only 1. So it was already a complete series, and they didn't understand why they split it up. And that's one thing I just wanted to say out there. This movie should have been a one-off, but they decided to split the movie into 2 that did not make sense at all to a lot of people that read the books when it came to Mockingjay. So that's why I had a lot of poor performances. So anyway, Rich, you go first. What did you think of the first part of the 2-part series?
This was a little boring compared to the action that we got. I'm just going with the positive here. I liked how Katniss wasn't ready to embrace being the leader or the face of the rebellion. I really liked that. Again, great cast. Philip Seymour Hoffman. I think everybody, as each movie gets, their acting just keeps getting better. And the ending, that's my favorite part of this first part 1 is the ending. When you see what, can we spoil?
Yeah.
When Peeta chokes the shit out of, and not in a good way, Katniss. That and then it just ends. You're like, well, wait, what? I didn't know the books. I didn't know what was going to happen because I told my daughter not to tell me. So I didn't want to know anything. And just like, holy shit, And then, yeah, that's my thoughts on the first part 1.
What you got, Nate?
All right, I remember I saw this one on a date. with a girl, and she ordered nachos with extra jalapenos. I remember,
Oh, did she
because that
crunch
was more
loud?
interesting. No, but that was more interesting to me than a lot of what happened. This movie is very boring.
Yeah.
It is like, as far as positives, yeah, I think that you could apply a lot of the same positives in that the filmmaking's good, like it's directed well, it looks good. The two action scenes that are in this are pretty cool. I do like the one where she shoot like with the planes, and they're shooting the arrows at the planes at the hospital and all that.
Yeah.
I like some of the implications of what happens. I think Donald Sutherland, this is the one where he's the most ruthless. These last two, like he's a bad dude, but he's really just horrible in these last. He's the saving grace for me because this movie, Mockingjay Part One, the main plot of it is that Katniss, they're trying to use Katniss to make propaganda videos to rally up all the districts to fight against the Capitol. That's it. 2 hours of that, of them filming videos, and like I'm like, dude, this is so
Yeah.
boring. Yeah, I don't love this one. I do think it's well made, but I just think the story is boring. So I'm not as into it. You know, they added Julianne Moore. She's cool. They added the guy Foggy from the Daredevil TV show, but he can't talk.
That's who that was.
Um,
Damn it.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then the chick from Game of Thrones, two chicks from Game of Thrones, Mahershala
Yeah.
Ali. So again, got a bunch of good actors, but they're doing a lot of boring stuff, like filming videos. Alex, this movie, you could have been in this movie. You could be the guy directing the videos. You know what I mean? Like, all right, instead of we were gonna direct, it's about video editing and stuff. Like, come on, what are we doing here? Like, I don't love this one.
And you can even see Katniss is like, what are we doing? Like, I don't know if it's just me reading too much. Kind of
No,
like,
she was. She didn't understand why they were doing what they were doing. But
yeah, I don't think the audience did either.
it is. I'm sorry to say this, but this movie was hot mess. I watched this and I said this is a piece of crap. It is boring. It is super boring. The characters are not like they're interesting in the first two movies, but they don't progress much into character developing because Nate's right. All they talking about, first of all, Philip Seymour Hoffman's character is the guy who created the games. Not created the games, but he's the architect of putting the games. Yeah, he makes the games. All he does now is, I think if you let her go, this is why I think, And I'm like, who cares? Like, dude, do something. Like, all you do is stand by Julianne Moore's character, give her advice. But other than that, you're wasting his talent just being a guy that's just sitting next to her. Like, it's just the movie's so blah. And Peter got captured and he's being tortured, you can see. And he's like, this is not my pita. That's not my pita. And I'm like, who cares? Like, continue. Like,
it's a love story, Alex. Come on.
It's so.
I actually like the stuff with her and Gale in this better because Peta's not there.
Yeah. But, and then, but I don't feel that much with them because they didn't do much in the first two movies. Like, it was
no
just
chemistry.
That's why.
Yeah, it was no chemistry.
Yeah. Peta, I don't like Peta in any of these
I don't
movies,
like him either.
So good. Bye.
Yeah, this movie is just a hot 2 hours of crap, like a waste of crap. Like, it's just, I don't know, I don't like it. And even if I read the book, I wouldn't have liked it either. I was like, this is so stupid. Maybe the book might be better. Maybe. Because it's not split into two. So I think it would have been better. But as of right now, I did like when she visited the hospital and they all did the sign. I said, okay, that's dope. She did, like, anything that has to do with the Rebels, like her going to the District 12 and seeing that shit all collapse. I said, wow, that's kind of powerful. I said, that is pretty cool. But they didn't go nowhere. It just went to straight boring, yappity doo-dah, do with the flag, and she's behind a green screen. And, oh, that's so stupid. I didn't like it. Rich, what do you got out of 5?
3.
Whoa, okay. What you got, Nate?
Yeah, I have the same score. Technically, I have a 6 out of 10.
Okay. I gave it a 2 out of a 5. Decent.
Fair. I gotta read what Tony said because you're gonna believe this. So first he said Catching Fire is a little bit better than the first one due to Francis learned direction, but I like some of the characters more, but it still doesn't do anything. 5 out of 10. Sorry guys. Jay said, "What's up?" Now here's where you're gonna believe this. Tony says, weirdly enough, hot take, of course. I think Hunger Games Part 1. I think he means Mockingjay. maybe my favorite of the franchise
Oh,
because I
come
like some
on.
of
Get,
the
get out of here.
Get outta
Get out of
here.
here.
7 out of 10, and then he said, "Yeah, part 1 is my favorite of the franchise." Sorry, guys, I can't disagree. I don't know how this is any. I don't think this is anyone's favorite one. Like,
No.
except Tony. First person I ever met that there's not even Hunger
He's
Games.
just
in it.
joking, right?
No, he's serious.
No,
he loves
he's
this.
serious.
What he says is he means it. He don't play games. Tony's not here for games.
Is he hot?
He's not here for Hunger Games either. He's here for this, walking around filming videos outside and going to visit hospitals and people going like this.
Yeah.
Sammy Sosa style.
Oh my god.
Sammy Sosa style. Tell him about it, Jake. Tell him about Sammy Sosa.
That's the Dominican Hunger Games.
That's real Hunger Games.
Oh my god. Anyway, okay. Let's get to the sequel of all sequels here. Most likely Tony might think this is the second best in the
No,
series.
I
don't
bet
know.
you he hates this one somehow.
Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2. Rich, what you got?
Again, still same cast as everything else. Now Katniss is ready to kick some people's ass.
Okay.
I like that. The new Hunger Games set pieces that I call them Hunger Games, like where they go from underground
Yeah.
into the build. I liked how they were going in the Capitol and stuff. And then there's one thing I caught that I liked that I never understood, and the other times that I've watched these movies was that Gale being in on the bombings.
Yeah.
Towards the end of the movie, I never caught that until
Really?
I watched it the other. Yeah, I
Oh.
never caught it. And I was like, oh shit! I had to message my dad. I said, did I understand that right? And she was like, yeah, he was. That's why she told him goodbye. I was like, oh.
Well, they used an idea he had. Technically, as far as the structure of the way the bomb works, like the little bombs, and then bring in the healthcare workers and then blow them up, and that's what caused her sister to die.
Yeah. I mean,
but remember, he says he doesn't know. And I believe it's supposed to be like you got to make a decision if you think so or not.
Yeah, he didn't.
Oh,
From
okay.
what I remember from when I saw the movie was he didn't. It was his plan, but he didn't know they were going to send his sister into that plan. That's why at the end he was just like, yeah, it's my plan, but he goes, I didn't know who they were going to use in the plan. And that's why she was like, get the fuck out my face. And he was just like, okay.
Yeah,
and then he left.
I don't know why I never caught that before, and I was like, holy shit.
Yeah,
Made me, like,
it was crazy.
I know why. I know why you didn't catch it.
What?
This movie is long.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I liked what happened. What led after that. What happens with Snow? I thought that was pretty cool. Like he knew, and then when he's like, "No, I've never lied to you, Katniss," and we always have to be honest with each other. And then you're like, "Oh shit!" And then it was that broad,
Coin.
Yeah. Nate, what you got?
Okay. All right. I think this one is first of all, this part 1 and part 2 are combined like 4.5 hours long, but they still feel like one story, like one. This should have been one movie. You shorten that first movie to an hour. You shorten this one to an hour and a half. Maybe make it 3 hours. Okay, fine. Make it a 3-hour finale. That's fine. But it should have been one because now it's 2 boring parts and they're really expanded for no reason. Good things about this one, way more action than the last movie, than Hunger Games or Mockingjay Part 1. This one at least has action scenes. I do like how they turned the Capitol into the Hunger Games essentially, with the little robots and the oil and I thought some of that was pretty cool. I didn't mind it. I think this one's pretty rough as far as character, like it kills off some characters, right? I mean, to this point, all we had was Cinna getting beat up, and then you don't really see what happened. Here, you get Prim, you get Finnick, you get like it's some stuff happens. So I like that, but other than that, I mean, the pacing here is worse than the last movie. Rich, the reason I said I know that is because I saw this at the theater, and I kid you not, when I was watching it, I didn't remember anything that happened in it. Nothing. Like it was like watching it for the first time. I'm serious. All I remembered was Finnick dying in the sewer. Other than that, I was like, I don't remember because it just, I think mentally the first time I saw it, I just kind of checked out after a while. This rewatch was a little bit better. I don't like the monsters in the sewer. What the hell is that? Like, okay, I know Francis Lawrence directed I Am Legend, but then he got the I Am Legend monsters running down there in the sewers, fighting them. I'm like,
Yeah.
and there's no explanation for them. At least the dogs in the first movie, they explain, like they're genetically modified. But what are these things? They just literally like vampire people who live in the sewer. So I didn't love that. And I think the ending drags on for too long.
Yeah.
This movie ends like 4 times. You know what I mean?
It's like the first Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, it ends, and then there's like 10 more minutes, and then it ends again, and then there's 5 more minutes, and then it ends again, and then her and Peter are running in the field, and I'm like, oh my god, I don't care anymore. Be over. So it just too long, but I do think it's slightly better than Mockingjay 1.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you know what? I will echo the voices of many. Because this is a piece of crap. This is piece of crap part 2. Because honestly, I you know what's funny? I did like those monsters in the thing because it was totally different. I don't know where the hell they came from, but I was like, man, this shit was better than what I saw in the first part 2. I was like, awesome. It felt different. I thought it was cool. I said, wow, I love the oil thing. I thought that was really dope. I was like, this is pretty cool. But then it just starts to disappear, and then I felt like the ending was rushed. Like, they rushed the ending. Anticlimactic. One of the worst anticlimactic. And I want to tell you people, if you watch this thing for the first time and you're going, man, how is this thing all going to end? With Julianne Moore, it is one of the most anticlimactic because you knew what was going to happen. Like, you were like, okay, she's going to stab her with the arrow. There's no way in hell anyone's going to sit there going, shocked factor. You're not getting a shock factor. Because the minute you saw everything leading up to it, you already know she was going to shoot her. The minute she said, we're going to restart the Hunger Games using the other people from the Capitol. And I said, oh, come on. This lady's going to shoot you with the arrow. That's why she said yes in front of everyone. And my wife is funny because she never saw it. And she goes, oh, don't tell me she's going to shoot her with the arrow. Do not tell me she's going to shoot her. And when she shot, she goes, this is whack. She goes, this is so whack.
It was just obvious. It was just obvious.
It was so obvious. And I was like, and then you see Snow laughing, and then he gets his ass beat from everyone running at him and getting his ass beat. So I was like, okay, so Donald Sullivan's character's death, horrible, because you thought for 4 movies he's going to get some worse thing, never did, from Katniss. Julianne Moore dies. Liam Hemsworth's character,
just nothing.
He doesn't do nothing.
Yeah, there's no.
Peter took 4 movies to bang this chick. I don't know. I'm sorry, man. Let me tell you, you put me in bed with this chick in Hunger Games when we're having sex somewhere. Because there's no way I'm waiting 4 films. there's no way. Big Papa Al is waiting 4 films to bang Jennifer Lawrence. There's no freaking way. My wife started laughing. I was like, there is no way my man waited 4 films. Like, this dude did not touch this girl. That was crazy. I was like, this is nuts. It turned out maybe in the book they get butt and they get butt wild somewhere.
It's a young age.
I think the whole point is that he's very like shy and like he's not. That's why he didn't tell her he had a crush on her until the freaking Hunger Games. Like he's not. His character is not. I'm gonna bang you so hard. Why wait till we're.
Well, listen to me, man. Well, you gotta say. You said you in love. You gotta show the love. You gotta show the love
for the camera.
For the camera. I'm like, listen, bring the camera in. You gotta get money. We're gonna do the
I don't think OnlyFans was available there.
What is it called? The Pan Am? We're gonna do the Pan Am OnlyFans.
You know who I forgot? You know who I forgot's in all these movies and I love? Stanley Tucci.
Oh, Stanley Tucci's right.
Oh yeah,
he's funny.
He's the best in every.
He does great.
Yeah, he's awesome.
He's funny. All right, Rich. What do you give this movie out of 5?
3.
Whoa. Okay. What you got, Nate?
I gave it a slightly higher 6.5.
I gave it a slightly lower. I gave it a 1, and out of 5.
You like part 1?
I gave it a 1. I'm never watching this shit again. Not the fact that my man Peter couldn't get down. Couldn't get down with Jennifer Lawrence. No, honestly, all jokes aside, I don't think it's not a fun movie to watch. It's just boring. It's just a waste of time at the end of everything. Maybe if you're doing it a watch through with some friends that never seen it, sure. But for me to go, oh, you know what? I'm gonna put on a Mockingjay part. No, you're not. Don't lie to yourself on that one. You're not watching that.
My youngest daughter makes me watch these movies at least once a month. She was like, "Hey, Dad, let's watch."
Some wackadoo stuff again. Part 2 is okay at best, but not near as interesting and engaging as part 1.
Oh my!
I don't see it. I don't know how he finds that engaging, but
I don't know.
again, that's our guy Tony. 1, and the finale on how it all wrapped up just left nothing and so bland. 5 out of 10. Part 1 is the only one in this franchise that I like a lot because the rest are just meh and nothing special, and I don't even bother with the prequel because I don't care. And he says, Alex is saying what Rev 4K said. You know why, Tony?
What did
Because
he
Rev
say?
is right. No, he said, because remember how Rev said he could watch the first 2 and not the last 2? I think that's the sentiment of most people.
Yeah,
Like,
I
the
wouldn't-
first 2 are
yeah.
entertaining, and these last 2 are boring. Legit.
Yeah.
So
I totally agree with Rev. I
agree
agree
too.
100% with Rev.
I think
Like,
we all 3 did.
yeah,
But
we-
look at our scores.
yeah. No, I
Yeah.
totally agree. Okay, well, last but not least, this is a first time watch for me. I never seen this before. And I'll go. Can I go first? I want to go since I never seen it before. This is my first take on it. This movie's a piece of crap. And I would have came out of the theater going, this is a horrible prequel. And 1, it's dull. It's not entertaining at all. It's very boring. I hate when they do the stupid, like, trying to connect or try to give you some type of thing that connects to Hunger Game. Like when she picked up the stupid flower, she goes, "Oh, this is not ripe, and this is like a Katniss." And I was like, "What? His name? Why do you have to call the flower the Katniss for?" Like it's so stupid. Like I thought that was dumb. When she kept singing that stupid song, the whole this movie or whatever the hell what's it called, The Hanging Man, with the 3 men.
Hanging tree.
The Hanging Tree. Yes, that was that the Jennifer Lawrence singing in the movie? Because I think it was.
Yeah.
They used her
Jennifer
voice.
Lawrence, Jennifer Lawrence sang that in Mockingjay Part 1.
But that's what I'm saying. They dubbed it into this movie.
No, this girl sings. That was Rachel.
Yeah,
Zegler.
that's her real voice.
Yeah.
Oh, because I thought it was Jennifer Lawrence. I was like, oh shit. I was like, they used her voice
No.
No,
to show Katniss.
it's Rachel Ziegler or something like that, right?
She's like a broad. Yeah, she's a singer. She's
Oh,
Yeah, she's
okay.
Snow White.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Well, she's pretty good as a singer. Some of the songs were
Mm-hmm.
catchy. I was like, all right, I kind of like some of the songs. But again, it didn't do nothing for me like the first Hunger Games did for me. Like, I was just not engaged with it. I thought it was very boring. Snow was not a character that I cared for to see a prequel for. Because he wasn't menacing. I didn't see him as menacing. I didn't see him doing anything evil or whatever. He was a mentor. I was like, who gives a fuck? Like, give me something.
He murdered like 3 people in this movie.
Yeah, but it wasn't. I don't know. I wanted to see the Snow that he becomes later.
Like I said, this guy's not evil. He killed only 3 people. That's
Yeah,
Right?
he's not evil. I don't know. I think Viola Davis was a better
And then he killed
villain.
Peter Dinklage. He poisoned
Oh,
Peter
she's
Dinklage
amazing.
again. He killed 4 people.
Yeah, no, Peter Dinklage. I don't know. For me, this movie didn't work for me. I never ever gonna see this again. Like, ugh. But yeah, Rich, what you got on this one?
I disagree a little bit with you.
All
Not all
right.
the way. I think the first
Yeah.
3/4 of the movie was entertaining for me. I didn't want to see. I wanted to see how Snow started and what led to. Because most of the time, you're not going to start out as a hardcore mini Hitler. You're going to kind of work up to it.
Yeah.
But I liked how he was trying to hold on to his past and trying to put the persona that he had money. And really, he didn't. He was struggling, trying to take care of it. It was his grandma, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cousin.
Yeah. I liked that. I liked Viola Davis. That woman can do no wrong.
She's good.
In my
Yeah,
opinion.
good actress. Yeah.
I liked how she was experimenting, and I think now there was like little tubes and chambers. Were those vampire things?
Yeah, I
In
think
those-
so. Yeah.
That's
With the
what I
hound-
kind of
yeah,
thought.
when you're saying the hounds.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, the first 3/4 of the movie, I enjoyed. I liked the generic Hunger Games. That's what I kind of called them because there's really nothing there. I like the snakes. The snake thing was pretty cool. But yeah, the last half, you're like, oof, it should have ended like 20 minutes, 30 minutes before it did.
Maybe an hour. Because this movie was a 3-part in one.
This
And
is
I was
the
like, this is.
longest one. It's
Yo,
2
bro.
hours
Yeah.
and 40 minutes.
When it ended, the second part, because they were like, oh, we're going to take you whatever, and it ends. And I said, oh, thank God. And all of a sudden it started, and I paused the movie to see where the numbers were, and it said another hour. I said, fuck me. I was like, this is another hour? Like, I was cursing up the gods, bro. I was like, what am I watching? Like, I couldn't. It was just so long, and you like could have condensed a lot of this story. That's what I'm trying to say. It could have condensed, and I was like, this is okay. But I don't know, man. Go ahead, Nate. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good. You're good. Yeah, so I don't love prequels in general, like the idea of them. I don't like seeing where things start.
Yeah.
I like the first movie being where it starts, and then if you want to go from there, that's fine. As far as prequels go, this one's kind of mid. I think I actually liked it a little better when I saw it at the theater. I liked it less on this rewatch. And the funny thing is, I watched these all like pretty close, like consecutive. Alex, like I watched them in like 2 days. So doing that, there's a lot of things in this movie, like some of the names. Like there's a statue of that the last name is Heavensby on it, and that's of course Plutarch. That's a Philip Seymour Hoffman's character, so it's probably his grandpa or great grandpa or something like that.
Okay.
And then you have Lucky Flickerman, played by Jason Schwartzman, who I like in this. That would be Stanley Tucci's either dad or granddad, but I think it's his dad. So I do like how some of that stuff. The Katniss thing, yeah, I guess Katniss is named after a potato. Call it a swamp potato.
Yeah.
So she's named after a swamp potato. That's pretty, whatever, I guess.
Don't they mention that in one of the movies though? That she was named after something.
I just think it's weird that her mom named her that. That'd be like, imagine you named your daughter like Potato. Like, why would you? Like, pick something else. You know what I mean? So anyway, also there's a lot of stuff that doesn't make sense. So this is like the 10th Hunger Games, which means it's 64 years before the first movie, because the first movie is the 74th Hunger Games.
Yep.
Now, if you remember, his cousin here is Tigress, played by Hunter Schafer. She got to be.
Is that the one that was?
Yeah, yes. She's a tiger.
She got to be at least 20 in this movie, which would mean she's like 84 in Mockingjay Part 1, but she doesn't look that old. Like, or Mockingjay Part 2, whichever one that was. She doesn't look that old. It's kind of weird. Also, Snow is like in his 80s, so I guess that kind of tracks, but I don't know. Some of the age stuff's a little weird when you think about it. I'm going to agree with Rich in Viola Davis. She can do no wrong. She's pretty much great in everything, even crap. Even if she's given a bad script, she'll do good work with it. Hunger Games 1.0, whatever. They're like fighting in rocks and rubble. How do the drones not work? This is like in the future, and they don't have working. We have working drones now. They can't get a drone to like stop and drop off a bottle of water. Like what is going on? I hate parts 2 and part 3 of this. I only like the first like 40 minutes. Once you get to part 2, the whatever, because the first part's the mentor. Part 2, whatever. And there's too much singing. Way too much singing. Why is there 5 musical numbers? The scene when him and the girl are running away and they're in the woods and it's like 15 minutes long and it's shot in like the style, like they're trying to go, it looks like The Revenant or something. Oh my God. He's like, Lucy Gray, where are you? Lucy Gray. I'm like, oh my.
She left him in the woods?
Yeah. She's like, oh, you found those guns. Nobody knows except me, right? And she said, I'm out of here. You're never going to see me again. It's so on the nose, too, like at the end with the quote, the things you love. Okay, we get it. So I'm straddling the fence here. I agree with some Rich and I agree with some Alex, too. Like, this movie's, I didn't like it that much.
Well, the thing is like what annoys me is like what I hate sometimes with prequels is that they throw in stuff. And I didn't read the book or nothing, but I just hate when they do something like he's rich in the older, but when the movie starts, he's poor and he has to fight through all this to become like, well, why he couldn't just be rich? Like he could have just been a rich, annoying fucking guy. But he had to, he did something that his father threw his ass, back into like the military or something. He had to work his way up or something, do something evil or something. Like that always irks me. Or second, they always throw Easter eggs of characters that are not in the damn movie, like Katniss. So now we know he hates Katniss the minute he met her because it reminded him of the plant that this girl picked up. And the birds, because he shot the birds, the mockingjays, because they were singing and whistling, and it pissed off Donald Sullivan's character. And I don't know, I just feel like certain things like that irked me. Like, and then the song that she sang is the song that he walked down the mountain while she was playing the guitar, saying the man, hanging man, and that pissed him off on the TV. And I was just like, so stupid.
That's okay too, though, because it's like Katniss had to learn that song from somewhere, right? So I guess it's like passed down.
It's like a folklore.
Yeah.
So that's cool. I get what you're saying, but I mean, to Rich's point, like you got to start. you can't just be the same guy when you're 20 that you are when you're 80.
Because there's no
I
great
totally
characters out
get
there.
it. No, I
Somewhere.
totally get it. But I don't know. I just feel like if we look at every past prequel of a hit of a movie, the villain is always super rich, and then they'll start off poor, and in the prequel, and then they work their way up, and then they're rich, and it's like, oh,
That's
really?
why I hate prequels. I don't need them.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know. I just and the Hanging Man song is about snow. That's the whole point. The Hanging Man. He met her at the hanging tree, and she said, "How many people you killed?" He said 3. That's the whole song. The song is about snow.
Which is weird because
That's
she
why
sang that before they even met at the tree. Well,
So the whole thing was that
That could have
song
been
is
circumstance.
it can't be about him because she sang that song before she found out he killed 3 people. Remember?
Yeah, but
she's like, "You told me to."
Yeah.
So how did she would have known that he killed 3 when she sang it.
Maybe she did.
She had
But
that
the
other
is
song that was
snow,
about
though.
him though, because she talks about snow literally in the one song, and then
Oh
he goes
yeah,
and
yeah, the
shoots
one
that
that
guy
was
in
she
the
fell in
back.
love with. Yeah,
The movie's
So
silly.
stupid.
Real quick to the chat, Tony. No, let's talk about Tony. Stephanie says the prequel will never be part of my Hunger Games marathons, so
Yeah.
she doesn't care. Tony
That's
says,
way too
get
long.
ready for another prequel sequel to this movie.
Really?
Okay.
Are they gonna make it still?
What they
I hope
make it?
not. Well, this made money, so
Yeah.
but I don't know. I think it wasn't maybe a big enough hit. Harrison's here. What's up, Harrison? He says, "Sup,
What's up,
everyone? I
Harrison?
liked the Hunger Games when they came out. I saw them in high school with friends. That was fun.
Oh,
I haven't needed to watch them since." He said Rich died when your camera exploded a moment ago, and then he says that's like naming your kid Pistachio, like in the Master of Disguise. Oh, don't bring up the Master of Disguise.
You know
and
what's
then he says,
crazy? I wanted to do for this show, and my wife was like, "Are you stupid?" I wanted to dress up like Stanley Tucci's character
Oh,
with
purple
the
wig?
purple hair, and
Oh.
could be like, "Welcome to the
Caesar Flickerman.
Yes.
Al Flickerman.
I was gonna call
Mm.
myself Al Flickerman. But no. But yeah, so all right, Rich, what you got out of 5?
I'm gonna go 3.
Another 3. Okay.
Yeah.
Nate, what you got?
A 5 out of 10.
Oh wow. I gave this a 1 out of a 5. I'm never watching this. I'm not even buying this movie. Normally I buy it to keep it in the collection. I'm not even. And
Did you guys have the 4Ks for these movies?
I
Yes.
got the 4K of the first 4 Hunger Games because they had that Best Buy pack. It was like $50 or something like that. It was like on sale or something. I picked it up.
I got the Steelbooks. Went back
Yeah.
from when I still bought Steelbooks. By the way, can I say something about this 4K?
Yeah, it looks great.
It looks great. First of all, it looks great. And second of all, I only watched some. This is how I found out about the Chad Stahelski thing. I watched some of the special features on the on the 4K disc of Catching Fire. There's a 2.5-hour documentary making of. So
Love it.
if Lionsgate can figure out how to put a 2-hour movie and a 2.5-hour special feature on here, how come all these other people can't be sending you these 4K discs that just says feature film, and then you got to put in a Blu-ray? Like Lionsgate did it.
You know
Figure
what
it
I'm noticing a lot with these stupid movies? That they say 100 gigs, and most of these movies are only like 50 gigs.
Lie. They lying.
And I'm like, oh, come on.
every
Yeah, I
single
agree.
Every single one of these 4K discs has a making of documentary on it.
Yeah.
And the video and audio is good. So I don't.
I just think it's I just think A is a company and what they want to give to their fans. I think at the point, like,
Yes, I also have the
it's just weird.
Steelbook of this, and
What you
it's
got?
been posted to Mercari after this watch through. So I
I
will
paid
not be keeping it.
$10 for that at
I
Walmart.
posted it for more. So hopefully someone buys it.
You want to
I
buy
have
it? They is
Sign up
selling
for
it.
it, Nate.
But I don't want to have it anymore. So,
You gotta
there
sing
you
that
go.
Hanging Man song when you put it up. You gotta be like, this movie really sucks.
If Mercari would let you if
Yeah.
Mercari will let you add audio clips to your post, I would put it on there.
You should have sang just like the Hunger Games song.
I don't like
This
Rachel
movie-
Zegler, by the way. I don't like her as an actress.
I think she could
I don't
sing.
think
She can't.
She
I
could
don't
sing,
know.
but she's not a good actress.
No.
I agree with you, Nate. For once, I agree with you.
It was very hillbilly.
Well, you're right
Some of
about
the
something
songs.
for
It was like bam, 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 bam. Very hillbilly. Anyway, all right. With that said, it's time to rank
Let's rank them.
the Hunger Games.
Welcome to the 74th annual Hunger Games.
Hunger Games.
The Quarter Quell.
The Court of Quill. Okay, so with that said, I'll just show here everyone that I don't have them pre-done already. These are what it's gonna look like, but we don't know where we're gonna rank them. I think I already know where everyone's gonna put their stuff. But let's see, Rich, you're gonna go first. So let me know what are you gonna do, and then it pops over in the corner. So let me make it 0. Bam. All right, so you're gonna go first, and then you pick your number 5. So which is your number 5?
The Songbirds.
Songbirds. Bam. All right, why?
That's me. You put it under Nate.
You put it
my
under
bad.
Nate.
My bad. I already know.
You can leave it there.
Oh my God.
Go ahead, Rich.
Yeah, Rich.
What'd you say? I didn't hear you. I'm just laughing.
Why?
Oh, why? Because it's the shittiest one.
Yeah.
Oh, you put them all. There you go.
Yeah, I put them all there because I already knew
second
we were all gonna pick that one. That's the least favorite.
Yeah, we just talked about it for 10 minutes. I don't think there's anything else to add.
Yeah.
It's weak. It's weak.
It's very weak. It's dull. It's not entertaining. It has certain entertaining aspects to it, but in a grand scheme, is a movie that I need to connect to the Hunger Games. Like they should have continued the Hunger Games without Katniss into the future with more brutal stuff or whatever happened. Like I want to see what happens afterwards. Not
move the story
before.
forward.
Yes, I would like to see what happens there. Does Katniss come back with Peeta because their kids gets picked in the hat? Like that would be pretty cool. Like their kids get chosen into the Hunger.
I have one more question for you about the prequel. What did you think of the guy that actually played Snow in this?
I'd rather have Donald Sullivan's like actual
Kiefer?
Kiefer Sullivan's son. Not Kiefer Sullivan, but I mean like someone in the family that acts that looks like him, like fit the role. I would have been, oh, that's pretty cool.
Anybody
yeah.
named Sutherland out there who knows that?
Yeah, it was Sutherland. No, but the guy himself, I don't see. My problem is when you do prequels of a good actor and they don't sound like them speech wise or whatever. I'm like, it doesn't do nothing for me. I'm like, okay, who cares? Like Dumbledore, right? Played by 2 different actors because one died, they got the other guy.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got the prequel played by Jude Law. I'm like, okay, all right, cool. So you got Jude Law, it sounds different.
Yeah, but at least Jude Law's a good actor. This kid is like,
true.
I don't even think he's that good.
I thought he did a decent job.
Jude Law was good, but what I mean is it's not like the same speech pattern as a Dumbledore, like the animus, like, you know what I mean? Like I like Johnny Depp as Griswold. I know a lot of people didn't like him or whatever the hell it is, but I liked him as I felt like he fit the world of Harry Potter, Johnny Depp. But
the cookie.
I didn't like the Lance Mickerson's character. Like I was just like, eh. But anyway,
Those movies were very good though.
Number 4, Rich, what you got?
Rich.
What's your number 4?
Go ahead. What, did you gonna say something, Nate?
Yeah, your turn. Go number 4.
Oh, okay, number 4. I'm gonna go. As Alex likes to say, Mockingbird Part 2.
Whoa, okay. Oh, my bad. I keep picking Nate. Why am I picking Nate? All right, here we go. There, Rich is that one. Okay, boop. Sorry. Okay, there you go. All right, Nate, what you got?
Not that. I actually have Mockingjay Part 1. I think Part 1 is more boring than Part 2. At least that one has action. So I'm gonna put Mockingjay Part 1 at number 4.
Okay. Boop. All right, so man, I'm gonna pick Mockingbird Part 2. This 2 craps is 4 and 5. Those are never watching again. I would never, ever, ever, ever watching those again. I don't.
Watch Part 1 either.
Huh?
You ain't gonna watch Mockingjay
That's
Part 1
actually
either.
true. I'm not gonna watch it. So you know what my number 3 is. All right, Rich, what you got for your number 3?
Mockingbird Part 1.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow. All right, Nate, what you got?
Go Mockingbird Part 2.
Oh my God, you just flip flop. You like Part 2 more than Part 1?
It has more. There's more things happening. Part 1, they're literally filming videos and walking around in the sewers talking. There's one action scene. This Part 2 has action scenes, and they're more engaging. So yeah, I like Part 2 better.
You're right.
I like Part 1 because just the way Katniss is struggling with her PTSD. That's what really saves it for me.
Well, I got PSATD, whatever you want to call it, because I put part 1. Oh man, Nate is right. I'm never watching one too. Bert sings in songs. I'm never watching those ever again. If I wish I could sell those and just keep those two, but I can't because Jennifer Lawrence is in those two. So I'll keep all of them together. Okay, Rich, what you got as your number 2?
The first Hunger Games.
The first Hunger Games. Oh, okay, changing it up. Like it. Mono me. Boop. All right, Hunger Games 1. Rich, Nate, what you got?
Yes, same. Hunger Games Part
Games
1. But the gap between 2 and 3 is big. Like I would easily watch Hunger Games Part 1 and I'm cool. It's good.
You know, I'm kind of tossed up between those two. Hunger Games 1 and Caught on Fire.
Yeah, you gave them the same scores. So
I did. I mean, it's not, you know what? I can't go either one, but just for this one, I'm just going to go with Catching Fire. I'll go with Catching Fire on this one. I love Lenny Kravitz, and I think them killing him off in this one kind of pissed me off because I kind of liked him. And let me tell you, those sequences of her in the dress and it turns on fire, I thought those were dope. She turns
cool.
and she spins and she turns on fire. And then she did the Mockingjay wing one. I thought that was cool. I liked it. I thought it worked very well. But yeah, I'll go with Catching Fire as my number 2. Rich, your number 1 is
Catching Fire, of course.
Catching Fuego. Boop. There you go. And then Nate's.
same. I feel like it is Hunger Games on steroids. It's the better version of the same story.
Yeah. And I pick Hunger Game 1 for mine. I think, look, you can't go either one. Like, I could go either one. If I want to see Catching Fire without seeing, I could. Hunger Games 1, I just think, as an overall, out of this 5-pack here, I think Hunger Games has the overall story to action ratio where Catching Fire is more action to story ratio. Right?
Fair.
I think, if you want to put it that way.
I agree with
But
that.
yeah, I could go either one. So there you guys have it. Nate has Songbird and Snakes as number 5, Mockingbird 1 and Part 1, and then he got Mockingjay Part 2 as his number 3, Hunger Games Part 2, Catching Fire. Myself is Songbirds and Snakes as number 5, Part 2, Mockingjay number 4, Mockingjay Part 1 has 3, Catching Fire and Hunger Games, and then Rich got Songbirds and Snakes, and then of course Part 2. Number 4, Part 1, number 3, and then Hunger Games, and then Catching Fire as his number 1. Wow, this is pretty interesting. You and Nate has the same list.
Except 3 and 4 flip-flop, but yeah, similar.
Yeah.
Harrison said, I remember loving Catching Fire. The music was great, and I thought it was a way better film. Also, the book was better than the first one. So maybe, these are adaptations. So if they're accurate, maybe that's why.
Yeah. You know, that song is really catchy, that Hangman song. I don't know why. It hasn't. I'm still having it in my brain. That Hangman.
Are you going into a train?
Well, you can't sing that song for Part 5 because for Part 5 or whatever you want to call it, I'll be like, this movie really sucks. I spent 2 hours.
I'm not gonna lie to you. And maybe only people who are like Disney theme park fans will get this, but bro, all the songs that girl sings remind me of going on Big Thunder Mountain. Like the dude's like, this is the wildest ride in the wilderness. And she's like with her guitar.
Are you hanging in a tree?
Oh, it reminds me of Thunder Mountain, honestly.
Oh,
like I can't, every time I heard it, I was like, bro, I feel like I'm about to get in line.
Oh, Jews. Oh, my God. That's funny. That's freaking funny. Oh, man. But there you guys have it. We did our 5 Hunger Games. We gave you guys all our ratings. We went through all the box office numbers. Our likes, dislikes about the film. Yeah, what's up?
Yeah.
For both of you. Do you, even with these scores, did you have a good time overall watching this whole series?
For myself, I will say this. For myself, I enjoyed it all the way up to Mockingbird Part 4. I mean, part 2, whatever it is. Like, yes, they are boring, Mockingbird part 1 and 2, but I did enjoy the watch through. I just did not like songbirds and snakes threw the like a rock into the ocean. Like when you throw a rock and it just disturbs it. Like I didn't like it. It did not fit for me into the Hunger Games, but I did enjoy the watch. Like I could watch it like in 2 years from now. I could do a 1 through 4 watch through, but I would never watch Bird Songs and Snakes.
Rich, what about you?
No, I always enjoy watching these movies. But this is the first time I watch it with a real critical eye. Just because you asked me, I was going to be on. But I always have a fond memory just because of watching these movies in the theater with my daughter. That's one thing I love about movies. Good or bad, if you're with somebody, that's just a memory you have. I don't know. That's why I always enjoy watching these movies. So yeah,
I mean,
I
you're not wrong. I remembered what my date ordered when I went to see the first movie.
Yeah,
it's true. You're right.
Yeah.
I will say I actually enjoyed the watch through, even though I didn't love the last 3 movies. Like because these all came a year apart, and I never rewatched these. So like I watched them all one time a year apart. When you watch them all within like literally, I watched 1, then got some pizza, then watched 2, then watched 3 and 4 back to back. They did a good like continuity wise. They did a good job. So I enjoyed it. Now, will I rewatch I like 1 and 2 I don't rewatch movies anyway. If you don't know that already, I don't constantly rewatch movies, but I could watch all 4. I agree. I don't need to watch the prequel ever. I'm like Stephanie. I'll leave it out. I really don't have because technically you should watch it first if you're going to watch it in like story order, and that's never.
That's true.
Well, even still, like let's say you do watch that first, it's filmed different from 1 through 4. Like I mean, 1 through 4 is like you said, it continues, director. But it's even the first director left. The second director that continued it shot the movie the same as the first director, the same color palette, same color grading. So it wasn't totally different from and that's the thing when we get to the next franchise, which we were about to reveal, that I enjoyed different directors, but it starts to, certain things start to change, aspects of the film start to change. So, but it's still in the same world. So it's kind of fun when we do it. But I enjoyed this watch through, so... Yeah.
Coming of age female character makes sense that Rich loves it.
Well,
just JK, bro.
Was that Evan?
Harrison.
No, Harrison.
Oh, Harrison. Okay.
So I saw this movie, Bird Songs and Snakes. Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. I saw that on Prime for free.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it was free there. And when it finished, my daughter was watching it with us, and my daughter Kara goes, I want to see Spider-Man because it was like Spider-Man Homecoming, like was the poster on the bottom, like the next movie up.
Yeah. And
she was like, Daddy, I want to see Spider-Man. I'm like, but you don't know who Spider-Man is. And she goes, yeah, yes, I do. And I was like, what does he do? She goes, he does this. And I was like, what are you doing? And my wife goes, oh, he's just shooting the web. And I said, oh, she does know who Spider-Man is. She's like, he does this, Daddy. And I was like, oh, I forgot that he does the so I was like, you know what? I'm going to introduce her into the Spider-Man world. Because Spider-Man is okay. I'm okay with that.
How old you got her?
Kara just turned 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, she went, Daddy. That's what I'm saying. When we take her to Disney this year, she's going to go nuts. Because you have all the princesses.
She's going to literally, her head's going to explode.
The one I'm afraid of is my son Gavin. Because he's into Captain Hook and pirates. And I already know
put him
down
on Pirates
there.
of the Caribbean. He's gonna lose his mind.
He's gonna be like, "Arr, don't." He's gonna go nuts. But anyway, yes. So let's reveal the new. So we're gonna be back in February at the end of the February. So it's gonna be February 26th, right, Nate?
Yes.
February 26th, we return back to our live stream. We're going to continue our franchise. We have it booked already, okay? We have it all set out for you guys for the entire year. We have series already done. But what is coming up next that people are going to love? And I will say this. I hope you guys join us on the ride. Like, watch the movies and join us, all right? That's what I will say. Join us, have fun, because the next one, I think you are going to watch it with us. I have a feeling. Because the next one we're going to tap into the world of Harry Potter. We are entering Dagon Alley again, and we're gonna enjoy. We're gonna rank all the Harry Potters live. I might even get a robe from the Harry Potter store and wear it.
Oh, you have to, bro. You have to wear it.
Yeah, you gotta wear.
But there is one series. No, and all jokes aside, there is one series on the calendar. I already told my wife I'm ordering a costume. I already have it ready for the costume. I will be putting it on when we're doing it. That's on Nate and you offline. But when we do it, it's gonna be. You're gonna be holy shit. Alex is going beyond in this one. But for Harry Potter, we are gonna do. We're gonna rank all of them. Part 1, Part 2. We're gonna do all 8 films.
8.
wow.
Yeah, all 8 films. I'm gonna have butterbeer here. I'm gonna drink some butterbeer while we talk.
We will be joined by a guest.
Ooh.
None other than the really old movie lover himself, Harrison, will be
Oh,
joining us.
Harrison's
that'd be
joining
good.
us.
Yes, for the Harry Potter franchise. So if he watched Hunger Games in high school, he had to have seen these when he was in 6th grade or something like that. So
Man, you guys are dating me, man. Fuck.
Yeah.
I don't want to date
I
you.
feel old.
Relax. I don't want to date you. But no, I know what you mean. Yeah, it's this is gonna be fun. I have in my mind. I don't know if you do, Alex.
Yeah.
I've seen these movies a few times, so I have a ranking in my mind already. And essentially, what I'm gonna do with this rewatch is see if it changes because I'm pretty locked in. Like I've seen these like 3 times each, so I have it. But you never know. We get older. You watch something one year and you'd be like, it just hits a little different. Like,
I'll say this right here. I'll say this right here because it's not in my ranking list. But if I would have been ranking right now and go, Alex, what is your Harry Potter thing? I would be like, oh, my number 1, hands down, I would say Prisoner of Azkaban. I would be like, that's my number 1. And then my number 2, I'll be like Goblet of Fire. Like, that's my 1-2 punch right there. But I don't know. Nate is right. I haven't seen these movies in ages. But if you would have asked Alex a long time ago, I would have been like, Prisoner of Azkaban and Goblet of Fire, brother. Back to back. But I don't know. I haven't seen them. So it might change.
Well, Azkaban's the dark one. So a lot of people, especially
a
lot of people like that. A lot of older people liked it, and especially people who like horror.
The Mentors. First time they
like
introduced the
it has
Mentors.
Gary Oldman in it, and it's directed by Alfonso Cuarón, who's an Oscar winner. So it's like
And the
it's
pizza
got a lot
maker.
of things going for it. Yeah, all I'll say is I'm excited for this because I like these movies, and we have plenty of time, so I don't have to watch them all in. Although we had plenty of time for Hunger Games too, but I could spread these out.
Yes, we got to spread these out. But anyway, this is the new franchise ranking. I'm going to put up this thumbnail so to let everybody know when we go live again. And then you guys can start watching these. If you want, you guys could tag us on, tag me or Nate on Instagram when you're watching them. You could tag Ocha HD Geek or Geeks and Flix or Nate's Nate Flix Reviews. Hey, I'm watching Harry Potter. Check this out. I might put some stuff. I finally can watch the Dark Arts collection that I have. I never opened it. I mean, I opened the wrapping, but I never got to see the 4Ks out of them. So I have the Dark Arts collection of the Harry Potter 4K steelbooks from the UK.
I have the original one, the metal box.
Yeah. So mine's is totally.
I just have the 4K box set. That's the only one I have.
The little fat box.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I got that for like $50.
Hey, it's okay. It's fine.
Yeah.
Whatever you got is what you got.
Yeah,
I don't even like steelbooks anymore, and I'm stuck with this big freaking box full of steelbooks.
I was gonna get the big Harry Potter big set, the one that comes in his like suitcase.
I'm surprised you didn't.
Yeah, it comes with like Dobby and an owl and his scarf. Like, but no. And all jokes aside, yeah, I'm gonna watch the Dark Arts for the first time. Like, I want to see the 4Ks fully, 4K. So that's pretty fun. Because lately I've been watching a lot of digital.
I also like the longer series. They're more fun to rank because there's a lot of movies. When they're short, it's like pretty easy to tell what's gonna go where. When you got 8 movies, you never know.
Yeah, so we have some stuff. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Are you gonna watch the Harry Potter show when it comes on?
Nope.
Yes.
I know you would, Nate. I didn't know.
No, Nate doesn't. Nate is not gonna watch it, but I am gonna watch it. Yeah, I'm gonna give it.
I'm not a Harry Potter fan. The movies are okay, just for me. But I'm kind of looking forward to what they're going to do with the show.
Well, I mean, I like the fact that it's totally different. I mean, not totally different, but they're going to actually be more accurate to the books than the movies. So I want to see how close it is when you watch the two. It's just going to be weird when you see the new Harry knowing Danny Radcliffe and Emily Watson and the guy who plays Ron Weasley and all their faces. It's going to change, but we'll see.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm ready to watch that Star Trek Section 31. I'm dying to see that.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear about that, bro.
Yeah, is it bad? You seen it?
That's what everybody's saying. No, I just
See,
read
I
a
don't
bunch of
listen
reviews
to
on it.
everybody. I don't listen to the phony Star Trek fans. They just, I don't. Those are phony Star Trek fans. I'm gonna watch it and then I'll give
It came out
myself.
Friday, didn't it?
Yeah. I just wanted to do all our stuff first, put together the live
Yeah.
show and stuff before I sit down and watch it. But anyway, with that said, guys, we will be back February 26th with the Harry Potter franchise ranking live. So again, hope to see you guys there. If you guys are new to the channel, subscribe, hit the like button, leave some comments. We will. Rich, thank you so much.
No,
For
thank you for
joining
having
us.
me, guys.
Yeah,
It's an honor, man.
Yeah, it
You
was
two
fun.
are
You will be
some of my
on
favorite people.
not only a future show with us, but you will be on another ranking later this year as well. You signed up for another one, so
Yeah.
way
looking
at the end
forward
of
to
the
that.
year. You're our first guest of the year, and you'll be our last one of the year. But we won't tell people what the series is yet.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But with that said, Harrison said, Alex, even IGN gave the new start. IGN sucks for movies and TV. They give everything low scores. Like, I don't
think
listen
his
to
point
it.
is IGN gives everything good scores, and they gave it a 2. So
No,
does that
they
mean?
don't. They give everything bad scores. Everything bad scores.
I always thought, well,
IGN
maybe
is
I'm thinking
horrible.
Video games. They
No,
give
video
everything a 7
games, they do good
all the
stuff.
time. Yeah.
I don't follow them for movies. So I'll see. Well, we'll see. I'll see. I'll be honest. And
Well, I
put
hope
on
you
my
like it.
Instagram.
I hope you enjoy it. You know,
I rewatched before we leave. I rewatched season 1 of Strange New Worlds. I love that show.
that's a good show.
Oh, I love it. And I'm gonna watch season 2 and then
I
wait
love
for
it too.
season 3. Yeah, you never seen it. That's just anyway, with that said, everybody, thank you for joining us. Thank you so much to everyone that was live with us: Stephanie, Harrison, Scott, Tony with his
Jay.
crazy hot take. Then Jay, we
Evan.
got Robert's working. Who else do we got? We got
Chris was
Chris.
in here. Yeah.
Yeah, we got Ben Buster was here too. And
Evan.
again,
Awesome.
you guys are checking on the replay. Thank you so much and everything. And again, Rich, everything for Rich's Faces for Radio and everything in the description down below. Other than that, man, check out for our content coming out this week is Reindeer Games Kill Bill Volume 1 Volume 1 is coming out this week. Unboxing on Saturday live. We're going to be unboxing the Jay Campbell's evil queen statue I have back there in the box. I don't know if you guys can see
That's
it
gonna be
back there.
cool.
I will have.
Let me see if I grab it.
Out of the theater review for Companion this weekend. And look at that.
That's pretty cool.
This is the deluxe.
Is this the Evil
My
Queen
buddy
Snow
has
White?
all the art
Yes,
prints to those.
the Evil Queen Fantasy Tales. So
I see why
she's
it's
gonna
called-
lok like
I see why it's
this.
called Fantasy Tales.
Yeah, she goes.
Yum, yeah, I will have Monday will be the top 5 from 1998, and then
Yep.
Friday will be Companion out of the theater review.
All right, so we got a lot of
Awesome.
stuff coming out this week, and again, guys, thank you so much, and have a good day. Have a good night. Be awesome to each other, and geek out.
We'll be right back.